Geek Bomb, it is Maude Garrett, Chief Bomb here, giving you my Shadow of Mordor review. Now, I know that this is a few days late, and the reason why I've been taking my time is because I cannot stop playing this game. So what's Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor? Take a look.
Am I dead?
You are banished from death. A curse binds us together.
Who are you?
I shaped the history of Middle-earth. I crafted the rings of power.
Garrett, greatest smith of the Second Age. Sauron deceived you into making the rings. He tortured both you and your kin.
So let me break down this game for you. So far I've been playing on average 6 hours a day since I've bought it. I've been really invested in this game and I've been enjoying every single second. So I'll take you through how the game's been for me. To kick things off, you are playing a ranger. His name is Talion. Now he's voiced and mocapped by Troy Baker. Troy, if you're watching this, you have done such a fantastic job with Talion, and I am enjoying the crap out of it, so thank you so much for that. The tutorial is actually really well done. It's not spoon-fed for you. It's not like this is how you fight. It both balances the exposition of your character and who you are, along with how to fight and how to play the game. So yes, you're Talion. Your wife has been taken by the orcs that were sacrificed in front of you, as well as your best friend, but there's a few. Pick up the sword, there's an orc running for you, this is how your combat system works. The good news for you is if you love Assassin's Creed, the combat system is very similar. It's the here's your button to use your sword, should someone be wanting to attack you, a button will appear above their head, press that to counter, so on and so forth. So once you understand the story of who you are and how you got there and the fact that you died, that's a pretty big part of it, you're ready to get your adventure on. You're revived by a wraith, and in doing so you adopt wraith-like powers. This is pretty cool because it means that you can never die, and that makes playing the game that much better, because if there is a huge ass monster or a captain or a war chief that's way out of your depth, you give it a go anyway. What's the worst that can happen? You die and you get respawned and you try it all again. Now, Talion the Ranger has 3 main weapons. You have your main sword for your melee combat, you've got your dagger for your stealth attacks, and you have a bow for your ranged attacks. The bow is by far my favourite, and I'll tell you why. There is a little something that you have with your wraith-like abilities called focus, and that means when you press a particular trigger down, woof, it goes into this eagle eye-like mode. And that's yet another way on why this is similar to Assassin's Creed. But when you're in focus, everything slows down. It's very similar to Red Dead Redemption, and it invokes the same satisfaction. So it all goes into slow-mo, and you can pop them off with your bow, and it makes those headshots that much easier and that much more rewarding. They're your 3 weapons. You also have the skill tree to unlock. And this means that not only can you upgrade these 3 weapons by placing runes within them, the more experience you get, the more runes you can put on them, the stronger the weapons become, but abilities as well. You can upgrade the wraith-like abilities, meaning that you can absorb power from them that converts them into shadow arrows, or you can do sort of more of the combat side of things. So you can take them down with assassinations, you can take them down with finishing moves, which is kind of the route that I've been taking a little bit more. So that's your RPG element. 3 weapons, skill tree, that unlocking system makes you more and more powerful, and you can tell when you do become more experienced. Now I have to make a clear note here, I've said it a couple of times now, but there are big similarities between this game and Assassin's Creed. The combat that I've been talking about, the button mashing approach, the whoop, this guy's coming in with an attack, counter it, go back around, finishing move, assassinate him, that feels very much the same. And the whole kill 1 person and 2 more take its place, yeah, that infuriating part of AC, that's in there as well. Another thing that they've kind of borrowed from is the eagle eye view. Remember in Assassin's Creed where you press that button and your enemies kind of pop up and you can lock onto a particular target? That's the same, but they call it a wraith view instead. It does come in handy, especially when you're in one of the strongholds and there's enemies everywhere and you're trying to find the captain, the guy you're trying to kill. And they've also made Middle-earth open world, very similar to a lot of the AC games. So they've broken up the map into particular regions. And to unlock that region, you have to climb up a tower and use the forge hammer. But it's the same kind of deal. Once you unlock that particular area of the map, you can do a fast travel there and you can see all the things that you need to collect. The quests, the icons, they all pop up. So instead of chasing musical notes, you're picking flowers for the survival quest. I love it when you're allowed to pick flowers. Maybe it's just me that I'm a chick. But, you know, in Skyrim, it's like, ew, flowers. The real part of this game that's got me sold completely is the Nemesis system. I got so distracted by this that I actually completely ignored the main quests and I just started tackling all of the captains that I saw. The Nemesis system is kind of like a hierarchical structure. So you've got your lower ranked captains and then the higher rank and then the higher rank up again until you get the main bad guys that you're going to take out, the war chiefs. I'm sure it gets further than that, but that's where I'm up to at the moment. I kind of did a little bit of a rinse and repeat here. I would get so excited that I find a captain, I would take out all of his followers and minions, and then I'd finish him off as well. There's the real sense of kind of urgency when you see them, because vroom, it'll lock onto them. He's seen you, you've seen him, the dialogue's exchanged, and that's always really funny.
Want to fight? All he's got to do is ask.
Oi! Human, what are you doing? And you're like, okay, it's battle time. So you'd go into that. You do get rewarded when you do kill a captain. These runes that you power up your weapons with, well, they will drop one when you kill them. And they will either drop one for your sword, your dagger, or your bow. Now, the higher level they are, the better the rune that you'll unlock. They'll unlock particular abilities, like maybe if you shoot someone with a headshot, you'll gain some more health, those sorts of things. So here I am, just targeting any captain that's near me, that's a lower level, that I can just pick them off. I think I did this for about 6 hours before I was like, I'm just doing the same thing. It took me a long time to even kind of get bored of this. Then I was like, all right, something's up. I need to be progressing a little bit more than I am. So that's when I went on to the main storyline. And this is where now I have to defeat the 4 war chiefs. What's very interesting about this using the Nemesis system is that every time you defeat a captain, you unlock intel about another captain. So when that chessboard-like Nemesis system's brought up, you can see information about each of the guys you've got to take down. The minions that you kill, you can figure out who one of the captains are. Should you kill a captain, you're able to identify the strengths and weaknesses of another captain. And not only that, but you can see the relationship that have been built within them. So for example, a war chief may have established allies with 4 other captains, so that when you're trying to take him down, he's got 4 of his mates there with him. And of course, they're all a bit more difficult to take down, so you don't really stand a chance. You've got to be smart about it, and you've got to take out the 4 little dudes of his supporters, so that once they're all eliminated, when you go to take him on, it's just him alone, and it becomes a more fair battle. So the Nemesis system basically rocks. The only problem is, when you kill one will always take its place. So you've got to be smart about it. Otherwise, you're like me, and you're just mowing them all down, and they're all getting replaced, and you don't really feel like you're getting anywhere. So my tips, stick with the main story, but also have a lot of fun with these captains and the Nemesis system in there. Unlock all the intel, so you're constantly one step ahead of them, and deck out your weapons. The number one thing that you should do with the experience you unlock is get your max health up. So if I had to summarize, the good parts are the Nemesis system, the fact that you are never bored, the voice acting's really, really great. They borrowed the best parts of a great game and made it even better. It's got its own unique feel. You want to keep playing the game because you start to understand your enemy more and more. If that same bastard's killed you 4 times, he keeps reminding you. And honestly, my palms sweat when I'm playing this game. I love it. I did notice though that is definitely one player. There is no online compatibility. There's no second controller that you can pick up with your friend and say, hey, help me out in the Battle of Mordor. It's just you. And you know what? I'm kind of okay with that. This is my adventure. I'm the Ranger of Gondor. I'm gonna bring down the Black Hand. And I'm gonna have a hell of a good time doing it. So I guess overall, out of 10, I would definitely give this game an 8.9, maybe even a 9 out of 10. Hope you enjoyed my review, and the bomb has been dropped.